Hey yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. We are back on the couch, so that can only mean one thing. It's time for another weekly movie review. This week I checked out a flick that I actually was pretty interested in seeing when it first came out. Wasn't able to check it out at the theater, sadly. Didn't stick around as long as I thought it was going to, even though I heard some pretty good things about it, and it's got a 7.3 rating. So pretty decent. I thought it was a cool concept, and I was curious to see what they were going to do with it. I am speaking of the newest Mark Wahlberg flick, that of Ted. I guess it's really more of a Seth MacFarlane flick, since, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he directed it. Yeah, he did. Okay. He directed it and he wrote it, doing the story and the screenplay, as well as the main voice of Ted, the teddy bear. Basic breakdown, when Mark Wahlberg's character is a child, he's picked on, abused. There's a funny scene in it where this kid's getting beat up, and Mark Wahlberg's character shows up and asks if he can play, and all of the people that are beating up the kid are like, "Get away from here, you're weird." Even the kid getting beat up is like, "Get away from here, you're weird." And then he walks away and they start beating the kid up again. Kind of funny. It was those type of quirky moments that were pretty funny about the movie, honestly. But also stars Mila Kunis, obviously Seth MacFarlane, Joel McHale, commonly known as the host of the Entertainment Tonight, the E show, The Soup, Giovanni Ribisi, as well as kind of extended cameos from Patrick Warburton, Matt Walsh. Patrick Stewart actually narrated everything. Nora Jones, Sam Jones, Tom Skerritt, as well as, who's the guy who played, hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, Sam Jones. Okay, Sam Jones who played, he was most well known as Flash Gordon. We'll get into that in a second. So that's pretty much the whole rundown of everybody in the movie. Essentially, when he's a kid, he wishes that he had somebody to play with, and of course, a falling star just so happens to be falling, because that's how wishes work. Gotta have a falling star. And he wakes up the next morning, and his teddy bear is a walking, talking, living teddy bear. So they promise to be best friends forever and ever and ever. And there are some very funny moments in that, as they kind of do the transition from them being young to present day. Now, John, character is Mark Wahlberg, is now 35 years old, working a dead-end job, dating Mila Kunis, his character, and essentially spends his days reciting movie quotes and getting absolutely lit off of bong rips with his teddy bear. Just the concept is humorous in itself. The thing that I thought was well done is I was curious how they were going to work it in terms of, does everybody else know that this teddy bear could talk? And they do. One thing I thought was interesting is they actually show this rise to fame of this walking, talking teddy bear. I thought that was kind of cool. And now it's current day, and like anything that's a fad in pop culture, nobody cares about it anymore. So it's definitely a funny setup, I guess you could say. So really the basic premise is Mark Wahlberg's character's never been able to step out on his own and be a man because he's always had his security blanket, except his security blanket actually walks, talks, and does bong rips. A lot better than just having a regular security blanket. So finally, Mila Kunis' character is just pushed too far. Specifically, a bodily fluid done by a hooker in the middle of a hooker party on their floor. It's pretty funny as well. Mark Wahlberg does that scene. Eventually, Ted has to find his own place. And of course, that brings up all of the expected oh, you're bailing on your best friend. We said we'd be best friends forever. You're picking a chick over me. Very predictable in a lot of ways, but still really funny. They brought in a subplot to it as well, which is that of Giovanni Ribisi, who is the ultimate creeper, and plays it so well as a guy who's desperately wanting to get Ted for his child. This chubby little kid who he apparently can never say no to really wants Ted, so Giovanni Ribisi is desperately trying to get him. First by paying for him, and then by attempting to kidnap him, which leads to some pretty humorous scenes as well. One involving Sinead O'Connor. The writing in it was very well done. Obviously, there's a major negative in the movie, and then a major conclusion, and everything of course goes happily ever after because you knew that's what was going to happen. But one of the better things about it was the writing. The way that they tie in a lot of different little subtle jokes was very well done. Another thing that was a running plot really didn't have much. I didn't have much, knowledge of it because it was a little bit before my time. But Flash Gordon is a constant theme through the whole movie. Growing up, both of them, Ted and John, idolized Flash Gordon. They would watch his movies. They would mock his movies, but in a loving way. So Flash Gordon is constantly in this movie, and then actually is in the movie as well. So that's kind of funny how they bring in a lot of things like that. Overall, it was very predictable, but the little writing quips made it worth watching, in my opinion. The things like, at one point, Mark Wahlberg is making fun of Ted's voice. And Ted says, come on, I don't sound that much like Peter Griffin or like that Family Guy star, which he obviously is because Seth MacFarlane did the voice for Peter Griffin. So it's things like that that were pretty funny. A lot of the things regarding Flash Gordon were pretty funny. I can't think what there was another line kind of like that to Mark Wahlberg. Can't remember what it was now. But, I mean, it was those type of things that made the movie worth watching. And just seeing how a stuffed teddy bear simulating sex acts is pretty funny. The dialogue, it's one scene, it's with Nora Jones, but the dialogue between Ted and Nora Jones is pretty funny. Especially the line of him writing to Hasbro about a specific part of his anatomy that wasn't properly designed. And I mean, it's a pretty corny movie in a lot of ways. I mean, the whole wishing on a star, I mean, it's kind of corny. But it really was worth watching, in my opinion. I'm glad I didn't go see it in the theaters. It wasn't worth the $14, but it was definitely worth an hour and a half of your time just to watch it. Whatever. I definitely thought it was worth that. Joel McHale isn't in it for very long. He plays a very smarmy boss who desperately is trying to hook up with Mila Kunis. But what he does is, pretty on point. It's worth it. I mean, it was a good part in the movie, I would say. The Giovanni Ribisi segment is over the top, but still adds a little bit more to it. Because I really think, there's only so much you can do with a stuffed bear, So those were things that had to be added to it. The interaction of John's character at work with his boss is pretty over the top, as well as one of his coworkers. There is an awesome cameo by Ryan Reynolds, really, really short, but really funny. I don't even think he says a word, but just being there and in the situation that he is pretty awesome. And I always have liked Ryan Reynolds. I just think he's a pretty funny guy, and I don't know. He's always seemed like a cool guy to me. He just always seemed like a dude that you'd want to chill with, Maybe it's because he's from playing Monty in waiting, as well as Van Wilder. He just seems like an awesome party guy. I don't know. But at the end of the day, there were some great cameos, and the cameos and the writing is what made this, in my opinion, a watchably decent movie. I really was going to give it 3.5 stars, but I've been giving so many movies 3.5 stars lately. I'm going to be a little lenient, give it 4 stars. I don't think I'll buy it. I might buy it if it was in like a $5 bargain bin at Walmart, but I'm not going to spend 20 bucks on it. I could see it being a movie that if somebody was over and she wanted to watch Ted, I'd be cool rewatching it, but I probably am not going to go throw it in and go and watch it again anytime soon. So there you have it. I would say it's worth watching, but definitely I wouldn't say it's worth going out and buying initially. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys like the review as well as possibly like the movie. Either way, let me know what you guys think. I am a fan of Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis, though I gotta say, whoever did the styling for Mila Kunis' wardrobe, I know this is coming totally out of left field, but it was horrible. There's an outfit that she's wearing towards the end of the movie where she's wearing some high water I just said tan khakis with this, oh my god, it was one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. And it was so unflattering. Mila Kunis is very beautiful, and she looked atrocious in it. Sorry, I had to get that out there. So let me know what you guys think of the movie. Did you think it was worth seeing? Did you like it? How many stars would you give it? I do think that it was pretty well done. So let me know what you guys think. Also, want to give a big happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I had a really good trip. Went back to Arizona for a few days and was able to see some family, friends, all that, as well as got to eat some great food. So hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Got to watch some great football on Thanksgiving. Of course, stay tuned. As always, I'll be doing a full football recap on probably Monday night after all the games are completed for Week 12. But regardless, it was definitely a fun time. So hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And hopefully you have a great weekend as well. And hey, maybe I'll go watch Ted. So let me know what you guys think overall of the movie and of the review. And I will catch you guys on the next video. As always, I am Matthew Maley. This is MatthewMaley.com. You can always check me out directly on MatthewMaley.com in the current video blog tab. You can also check me out on YouTube. Just search for Matthew Maley Poker. You can also check me out on Facebook. I post all my videos there. So again, search for Matthew Maley Poker. You can follow your boy on Twitter. I am at Matthew Maley. And finally, check me out on Instagram at Matthew Maley Poker. And until the next video, I am signing off. Peace out, y'all. Have a great weekend.